Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now on today's show, as you can see, we are going to be talking about the event store. Yes, what an event store we actually have here in the middle of potentially what could be, well, it's certainly not the worst end to an IP arc, but then again, it's still not one of the best neither. Sorry, I just got to move my light back because I've just been sorting out my setup. That's a bit better, isn't it? So, what we got in today's event store and what is going to be my personal opinion on where I would recommend people actually go for. But before we actually talk about the event store, I just want to bring your attention to the fact that the Delta Adversary is actually back this month, and we are going to look into that chest a little bit later on in a video. And I'm also, I'm going to be spending that, so you're going to get to see what I'm going to get for my Realtor. Now, starting off, we've been having this limited time event in the event store, which if we go in, and you're pretty much only going to see the fact that I've only got the Syndicate XP, but so far in here we've had Belana Torres and we've also had Ensign Harry Kim. Now, basically what these was, it was basically giving you a maximum 6 shards for half the price of what the officers actually are in the officer bucket, which we'll look into later. So you've got 3 pulls, it was 2 shards per pull, and it was only going to cost you 1,000 credits. So pretty good. I've actually claimed Harry Kim out of here, which allowed me to complete Harry Kim and get him unlocked this month. Yes! So that's my below deck burning officer, but again, I will talk about the officers a little bit later on. Syndicate XP, again, is also going to be here. You are limited to 3, so for a total of 22,500 of these new chaotic space tokens, you can actually get around about, 17, 34, 41, 5,100 Syndicate XP. Now, my level, for my level at 26 going on to 27, that's like a drop in the ocean because I still need about 155,000. But then again, let's go with Tesco's, every little helps. So hopefully they're not going to copyright me for actually saying that. But anyway, so that's the limited time bucket. It is valuable if you do consider it valuable, and if you are especially close to any of the officers that may appear in there. Obviously we've had Belana, she's now gone. Harry was the next one. I don't know who's coming next. Next up, we've got some throwback cosmetics, which is basically just throwing a load of avatars and frames. So whether you actually want these or not, that's entirely your discretion. I mean, there's only the 2 frames and 2 avatars. Not really much option there, but it is what it is. Not a chest that I would highly recommend unless you do not have those avatars or frames and you are a collector of them. So if you do want it, crack on. If not, leave it alone. Next one to leave it alone, and I say this every single month, and any other content creator will tell you the exact same thing. Resource and materials, forget it, stay out of it. We're not even going to jump in that bucket because it is a pile of trash. Now, the one thing you need to remember about Event Store month, yes, is the month that you are literally going to burn through resources and materials, whether you like it or not, and no way to replace them until the end of the arc. Sadly, that is the way the event store actually runs. I personally hate the idea. I would love to actually have the event store currency spread out through the whole arc series, in this case 4 months, and allow us to actually have some resources and materials, because I'm burning titanium like there's no bloody tomorrow at the minute, and it is really annoying, especially when I want to save up, when I've just actually looked at a lot of stuff and I'm pretty much got enough materials and resources as it currently stands to get my to get a Newton, if I actually had the blueprints, up to tier 5. So when that comes around, guess what's coming up to tier 5 straight out the dock? Yes, there will be a video on that, but it's a few months away, that one. Next one is the special currencies. Yeah, only if you really have to. There's some go-go juice, there's your Urbanite for your Cerritos boost, Axionic chips to get your XCOM should you want it, Culver particles for the Cerritos research in the Starship tree. Cloaked Racketeer is for a specific piece of research, so unless you have not got that piece of cloaked research, and you will actually need this to actually start it. Now, if I'm right, when you actually do go to do it, it does come free. If it doesn't, obviously this is the place to get it. Syndicate XP in here, so because we've got it in limited time, let's have a look. Same price. However, it's literally half the amount. So the limited time one is twice the value for the same price. So it's entirely up to you. Now, what I would say, 5,100 in limited in 3 pulls. Compared to this, now if you remember my live stream, which I did, which was literally last night, because it was running late, I actually showed that I'm actually pulling 5,500 per day. Yes, I'm pulling 5,500 per day. So at most, that limited time chest is only going to take a day off me. This thing, depending on how much currency I've got left over, will depend on how much of it I can pull. But I'd have to do 6 pulls out of here to match the limited one, but then again that's going to cost me twice the price, so not 22,500 but more 45,000 actual credits. Yeah, pretty pricey when you actually add it up that way, so just bear that in mind as you do go through this. Obviously you got traits XP, independent credits. This is a chest that I'm pretty much going to say forget it, don't touch it. 500 credits for 1880. So 18,800. Yeah, not worth the value whatsoever. You actually pull more out of the Borg refinery once you've got your tallies. In fact, I think you can probably pull more out of the Borg refinery under the standard Vidar. So I think it'll be about a tier 7 Vidar, I think. But, and then there's a piece of research you can do, which I think doubles it as well. So yeah, this is not one to actually go for. And unless you've literally got 18,800 credits lying around, then crack on. More mycelium orb splinters are for those with the automatic defenses for those G3 and G4 miners, the Horizon and the North Star. So if you want to, crack on. If not, don't worry. Active nanoprobes and tetrions for your cloaking. So yeah. So not probably the best bucket, but it's still got a little bit of value to those who want it. Frames and avatars come round as per usual every single month, and it's usually the ARCs, avatars and frames that's usually in here. They are extremely pricey. I'm not even going to scare myself by actually looking in this chest, but I'd say 150,000 for a frame. Yeah, unfortunately, well, actually not unfortunately, but fortunately, I actually can think of better things in the event store to actually spend this on. Next up is the ship blueprints, and I will say now, as much as they're not going to be here in mine, G5 uncommons and rares are in there. Your rares are roughly standing about, if I remember the screenshots I've seen, is 9,000 for a single blueprint, and you are limited to 35 on those rares. And again, it's around about the same price for uncommons, but you're actually only limited to 15. So, and we've just run a rare Armada faction formation Armada, so we'll pull that at the end of this video as well, see what we actually got. But in here it's like got the Newton. I mean, I can get 35 blueprints if I wanted to, but again, these are going to be pricey, but it will reduce my grind on it. As you can see, I'm limited to 35, maximum 350 blueprints to actually do the Newton. So that's 10 event stores, which in total will take you around about 3 1/3 years to do. On an approximate, we roughly get around about 3, maybe 4 of these a year, depending on how kind Scopley are. But again, 6,700. If I've got some laying over after this month, then I will actually potentially go blast the money and make the grind for the Newton just that little bit easier. The pilot will also be in here as well. Also, you've got specialty ships. Now, I am actually going to say specialty ships would probably be the best option to go for in the 20s and 30s and 40s if you've not got these ships yet. As you can see, the Defiant there, which not even pictured, that would be one I would definitely recommend for those of you in the mid to late 30s, currently grinding out those blueprints for the Defiant. However, what I will say is because of the price, which is a whopping 1,500, yes, you can, for 150,000 credits, you can do a full 100 blueprints, but it'll probably take you 5 minutes to actually pull them, considering that you only got Oh, hello. We'll do it that way. The single chest. If they actually did up to a 10 chest at least, then it would actually help a lot of players and cut down the number of button pushes they have to do or the mouse clicks. But anyway, so a single blueprint costs you 1,500. Excellent value, I will definitely say. So if you are close to getting your Define, I'd probably say within about 10 blueprints maybe. Save yourself those last 10 days. Get your Define because you will need it for Armada boost, and that, once you've done the research, of course. If you've already got the Define, yeah, just forget everything I just said about it. But there are a couple of specialty ships that's not in here. Voyager, because that's only just been released, so that's not going to be in here. Jellyfish for the lower players as well, who are just new to the game and actually come across me by chance. Jellyfish is definitely going to be one that you're going to be looking at. It's a pretty damn good ship in the early levels. Obviously, it'll fizzle out in around about the mid-20s, so probably not worth it. Franklin will definitely see you through to the 30s, so absolutely get it. You will need to do it for your swarm grinding. Swarm is an excellent value of source of resources, which will help you progress through the game with the Franklin refinery. Now, if there's one ship on here that I can definitely say is an absolute must-have, no matter what, when you get to Ops 30, is it Shipyard 30, I think it is the Meridian. Yes, get it. No questions asked. Look, 200 blueprints. Can't go wrong. And how much is that each one? 5 blueprints for 7,500. Yes, so basically 1,500 per blueprint. So you're going to get 5 blueprints. You can pull this 20 times. Is it 20? 50? No, 40 times. Sorry, 40 times. It's going to cost you a maximum 300,000 credits to get 2 Meridians. I would highly recommend 2 Meridians. Yes, I would highly recommend 2 Meridians because it will speed up that amount of isogen mining. I have 3 max. I can literally do ISO 1, 3 ships, got my dailies done. ISO 2, 3 ships, got my dailies done. ISO 3, 3 ships, got my dailies done. Boom. But that's my level. And they are max nodes that I also jump on as well. I search them out. Sometimes I'll jump through the system and I'll refresh all the nodes and put them all back to maxed out just to help the Alliance. But again, I definitely would recommend 2 Meridians. If you don't want the 2 Meridians because you actually prefer OPC hunting Meridians, then by all means, I get the 1 because you're going to need it for the particle refinery in the Territory refinery. So yes, you do need a Meridian. Okay, so absolute must, if anything you do get out of here, is that. Now, next up is you got more faction ships. You've got your Devore. If you've not got your Devore, again, if you're close, it is sourced through the 30-day loyalty chest or 28-day, whichever shows on your screen. For 10 blueprints every single month. So that will basically take you 12 months to source. This will give you 120 blueprints to give you another feature or allow you to actually complete the one that you're currently working towards. The Devore. Obviously, you will need the Devore when it comes to getting into the 30s and having to scrap it at level 41, tier 9 level 41, ready for its big sister a little bit further on, is the Devore feature itself. Which we'll quickly look at. As you can see, it's only limited to 60 blueprints, the feature, whereas obviously with the normal Devore, you're going to get a full unlock. The Devore feature is 120 blueprints, so that's going to take you 2 event stores to actually do. But again, if you got this thing to level 41 tier 9, scrapped it, you're going to get the whole 120 feature blueprints. So yeah, feature blueprints only if you actually want more. Obviously, I've got I know a couple of players who have got like 7 features and very high tiers at that. So yeah, they absolutely thrash Latinum Mundi because of that. So next up is the Stella. Again, you will source one of them free to play on the when opening up the Stella Arc. I'd have to start a new account just to actually do a video on that little bit, but unfortunately with the time constraints that I actually have personally, it's not feasible at current for me to do 2 accounts. Maybe one day. But Stella, yeah, for doing the Stella grind earlier, once you get into the late 30s, into the 40s, yeah, there are other avenues to actually do that particular outlaw research, so it becomes less valuable. To me, it's not as valuable anymore. We've got Apex running today. I'm not particularly that interested in it. So, but I'll still do it just for the tokens because I want to get the assimilated skin. But if you do, what I would recommend though is this is the only place to get a second stellar. Yes, it's the only place to get a second stellar. I would highly recommend that you do get a second stellar. That way you can have one that's constantly grinding and you can have one that's basically just being leveled up to be scrapped every so often. But beware. Once you have that extra stellar, that's it. You can't get rid of it. Literally, you cannot get rid of it because when you scrap it, you get the blueprints to build another one. So unless you leave those blueprints where they are, yeah, you're always going to have a stellar and there's no way of getting rid of it. Whereas like you can scrap the Devore, you've got to build up the blueprints again to actually get it. That Katinga, that's right there. You scrap that again, you've got to build up the blueprints. But with the stellar, blueprints like that when it's done. So just bear that in mind. Now, if you really wanted to go to 3 stellars, again, the only way to do it is actually through the event store. Faction miners, Ship of the Dead, entirely your discretion if you want that. It depends on how active when it comes to territory capture. Obviously, my server is not particularly active. There's a little bit of movement every now and again. But again, she does get out to stretch her legs, join territory takeover. Even though nothing happens, I just send her out to sit on the node. It's not going to hurt to stretch her impulse engines a little bit on a warp drive. So, next up, Cerritos. Definitely one to go for. Again, limited to 30 blueprints. Obviously, the sarcophagus is limited to 40. Bear in mind. So just bear that in mind. Cerritos, we have an event on a Wednesday, Cerritos Wednesdays, where you will acquire 10 blueprints every single week if you've not got the Cerritos. Obviously, if you have got the Cerritos and you're still seeing that particular event, you know by now you want to go to milestone 3 and not claim that last one, and not get that last one. Because obviously, you get that last one, boom, it's gone. Once you've got all 100 blueprints. So, again, should you waste event store currency on the Cerritos? In all honesty, my opinion is no, don't do it. 10 weeks to actually grind it out. Yeah, okay, that's absolutely fine. Not a problem. It's better than 100 days, I'll tell you that much. But again, 7,500, 5 blueprints. You're limited to 5, so you're only going to get 50 blueprints. So that's 10 pulls out of this, 75,000. And you got half a Cerritos. I actually did do the Cerritos through an event store last year, and obviously I do use Cerritos pretty much only on a Wednesday. It's the only time it actually comes out the dock now. But yeah, as you can see, I'm 20 shards short of actually getting a second Cerritos, which, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not that keen on the Cerritos. So, but considering that if you did have more than one, yeah, they both pull off the same pull. Oh, somebody started a formation armada. So, yeah, I'm recording. We'll jump on that later. Botany Bay, full pull. Absolutely, definitely mine that data quite fast. You are still going to continue to need data for going even into the 40s. I'm still mining data. I can OPC hunt it on a rare occasion when I actually find an OPC Botany Bay. But again, absolutely. Get it up maxed out. And she's one hell of a beast when it comes to mining. For obviously lower levels, early raiding ship. Fast, quick, in, out. She's got high impulse speed and absolutely worth it. So definitely would say get that. What else we got in here? Pylums in here as well, as I did mention earlier. Mantis, if you're working towards your Mantis. The only other way to source the Mantis that I'm aware of at current is incursions that come around once a month. Yeah, tell you what. If you're level 33 or above and you have not got a Mantis yet, get it. You need the Mantis because it's giving you that Syndicate XP in its refinery. That's what makes up my 5,500. Actually, 4,500 of it is because of that baby sat right there. Yes. So absolutely, definitely make sure you get the Mantis. The North Star, specialty miner for G3. Very fast, very quick. Mines it. However, extremely small protected cargo, small cargo space. Yeah, Very good actual PvE ship for lower level players. If you don't want to rely on things like your Taurus or your Kira, get that thing. She's a bloody, she is a beast. I've got one for posterity's sake. I never actually got a chance to use it because it took me until the 40s to actually get it. Damn. So I've got it, just the fact to say I've actually got it. And Discovery is another one you're absolutely going to need as well. But again, that can actually be sourced through the Cosmic Cleanup every Saturday, along with all the other specialty ships in here as well. You'll get a set amount of blueprints every single week. However, just bearing in mind, you can only choose one specialty ship to spend those Cosmic Cleanup tokens on. So just bear that in mind. Amalgam, another one. If you're an avid miner, crack on, get it. Another way to source on a guard wharf, get some ship trackers which will give you a few little goodies, some beam cosmetics, some cosmetics for the G3 epics. So absolutely worth getting if you actually want to. But again, this one's limited to 50 blueprints. Discovery is obviously limited to a full pull, so I would recommend getting it. I actually have two. The second one is because I'm expecting a rerun of Discovery at some point with an updated and the Discovery A. Nothing's been mentioned about it yet, but I'm edging my bets. We've upgraded the Franklin to the Franklin A. We've upgraded the Devore to the Devore Fisher. How long is it going to be before we upgrade the Discovery to the Discovery A? But we'll just have to wait and see on that one. So, but the Amalgam will take you around 13 weeks to grind out in the Cosmic Cleanup store. But there it is. So yeah, that's these ships. Again, it's a bucket. If you're close to some of the blueprints with the specialty ships, absolutely go for. Faction ships, don't worry too much about. G5, yeah, okay, I would probably say crack on, go get them. Next up is the ship parts. And because I'm obviously constantly talking, I need a quick swig. But what you're going to get in here is you're going to basically get all your parts. For the specialty ships that are currently in service. However, watch out, some of the more recent ones like the Titan and Voyager are not in here, so don't expect them. So you've got various things like your plutonium, your warp codes for if you want to get a second Franklin, Fisher parts, so Mantis parts, Cerritos parts, interlocks for those who want to get more Fishers. You will need this to actually upgrade your features, so just bear that in mind. And some Amalgam parts and some Devore parts. So that's pretty much it. That's a nice, quick and easy bucket. Ship refits. Now, this is another one that's actually got a little bit of value in the form of the Gold Cardassian Disruptor. Now, you will need 75 shards, so it is actually going to cost you around about 225,000 tokens to actually unlock it. But again, this has got some value in it. It's giving you that critical damage boost by 25% for all your ships. So absolutely worth going for. If you're relatively close, then I definitely would recommend it. Me, I think I'm quite far away. I think I'm pretty much actually the full 75 shards. But bearing in mind as well, you will need the epic shard unlock tokens to go with it as well. So it's counterproductive. You just buying this disruptor shard, taking it to the armory, trying to unlock it, and then suddenly, oh, hang on a minute, I need 75 epic shards as well. So just watch out for that one. So it could actually end up being far more expensive for you in the event store. So just bear that in mind. Mitigation skins as well here. Cloaks as well for those who want the cloaking devices for their ships. The stellar skin for increasing the efficiency of stellar particles, and also adding G4 and G5 materials to the chests which require stellar particles to open and take a week to cool down. So I mean, I'm going for that as well because it's the look. But again, it's the last one I said. I can't remember what it was now that I'm actually more intrigued with. But again, like I said, there's the cloaks in here. Jellyfish cloak. I mean, really? Do we really need that? So, amalgam cloak. Yeah, I've actually got the amalgam as well. So, and then obviously you got the amalgam refit, which is good for those raiders. Boosts your loot gain. So now, is that most of it? Yes, it is. Now we come on to the chest that I absolutely gonna recommend this month. Now, normally I don't actually recommend officers as highly as the other content creators, but this month I'm definitely gonna say absolutely. Why? Well, he's right here. The EMH, yes, the Doctor. Absolutely, is an epic. He's got a below deck of increasing the loot dropped from hostiles after combat. He's an absolute yes, you really should go for him. He's helped me an awful lot. My grinding with the actings, I was having to kill 5 or 6 just to fill my cargo bay. Now I'm down to 4. That is it. Down to 4 kills. Boom. Got a cargo bay full of venom. Go home with it. And that's because of the Doctor. The grind for doing the Dominion. Again, having to kill about 30, 40, maybe even 50 targets, depending on what level I was after. The Doctor, he's reduced that drastically. The top level now I actually have to get is around about 30 kills. So absolutely reducing the grind for specific things that you actually see. Like I said, the Venom, the antimatter pods from the Dominion ships. So just bear that in mind as well. Also, broken parts for the G4 and G5 players. Absolutely a given. It might help if I actually put his below deck ability actually on the screen as well. Obviously, you can put him on the bridge if you want to, because you'll increase your mitigation by 300%, the health of your crew. It does stack, so that's 300, 600, 900, 1200, but it lasts for 2 rounds. So it's gonna be a good one, but again, primarily used on below deck, especially for Voyager. Yes, when you're grinding those relics for Voyager or any other ship that you actually use to grind those relics, Doctor on below deck. Absolutely no questions asked. Yeah. So next up, I'm going to highly recommend is going to be Janeway. Now, my opinion on Janeway is you're going to want her primarily for her officer's ability. It's the Isolytic Cascade. It multiplies your total damage, including isolytic damage and all research and other bonuses. She starts off with 10%, and this will grow as you actually tier her up. Not level, tier her. And it's at the start of combat, increasing your Isolytic Cascade damage by 10% against non-player hostiles, so red dots and armadas. Absolutely fantastic officer. Put her as captain. You've also got this 6% increase in mitigation for 1 round. But again, that stacks at 6, 12, 18, 24. You don't need me to go on. It's right there. She pretty much has become the staple part for a new PvE crew. Potentially, I've only got 5 shots to go, so I'll find out when I get there. Potentially replacing the staple part of Pipe Moreau Chen. Yes, very big possibility. But then again, you might even be able to put Chen on with him. You won't get the higher bonus that you get with Chen as if you would with Pipe Moreau or Picard and Beverly, but you will still get that a baseline of 30% against energy weapons. So absolutely a good one to go for if you're close. Now, you saw the price across the bottom. Let's go back into the Epic and just show you it. 60,000 tokens for just 10 shards. That is going to cost you a hell of a lot. For a full unlock, you are talking, what, 600,000, 720,000 credits. You can only do that as a spender in the game. That's the only way you're going to do a full unlock of Janeway. Now, if you are close to the next tier, again, crack on, get her tiered up. Because like I say, that below deck ability of isolytic damage, that increases as you level her up. Next one is going to be Chakotay. Again, is a new Armada officer, increasing your shots as captain. So put him on the bridge. And the one thing is with Chakotay and Janeway, doesn't matter who you put either side of them. They get the same maxed synergy, leveling them up to a fair old whack. You've got, with Chakotay, a chance to hit, if you actually do full synergy, 100% to shots against Armadas. Yes, so very valuable. Again, it is a low level. Maybe not the best. I mean, I'm not having the best of luck with him. My other crews are far better in solo Armadas and against group Armadas. But again, get him leveled up and he's potentially going to get better. And that is because of the critical chance for 2 rounds every time you score a hit. So basically, this is a Khan against Armadas on steroids. Because Khan will do it every time your ship is hit. Now, mine currently stands at 4%. That's better than what... That's... To be perfect, I was just about to say that's better than this. No, it's not. Because that's 12% to your crit chance. 12%. That's not going to take long to actually max out. That's not going to get it. So you're hitting criticals like that. Every single shot. So absolutely worth going for, but it is every time. So I would definitely recommend Chakotay. But again, if you are close to him, then that's fine. I mean, I'm 7 shards onto tier 2. So yeah, I won't be going for Chakotay because I've already got him unlocked. This is the perfect opportunity, this chest, to get these Voyager crew unlocked. And I would definitely say, get those bloody rares. Like I said, Harry was in that limited time one. Bellona Torres, there she goes, was in that limited time one. But again, this one is another good one. Tuvok is very niche. However, look at that below deck. 100% cargo capacity to Voyager. So whatever tier Voyager is, it's 100%. Just take it. It's baseline. So tier 1 Voyager is a 3,000 cargo hold. Add another 3,000. That's your cargo hold with Tuvok. Tier 2, I think it was about 5,000. The cargo hold. Add another 5,000. Boom. So it doesn't matter what your research is, it's the base of Voyager. But it's absolutely worth it. Officer ability to me is a bit of a throwaway. Yeah, increase artifact tokens. It is worth it. But you're going to be sacrificing some potentially valuable place on the bridge of your ship. So, where I would probably stick Tuvok, max cargo crew for Voyager. And only use him specifically for that. And that's where he sits for me. He sits below deck with Lalan, helping the other 3 increase my cargo capacity. Takes Voyager from, is it 115,000 I think I'm on, to about 185,000. That's max cargo. But again, Tuvok is also part of that crew. So absolutely worth getting. BLT is absolutely worth getting. Tom Paris is another one absolutely worth getting. And that's because of his officer's ability, which is going to increase critical damage by 5% for a single round. And it stacks. Yes, it stacks. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger as you go up. Wow. Absolutely worth it. And then obviously his below deck ability is to increase mitigation. Again, it's a no-brainer. Absolutely no-brainer. Me, I'm 18 shards short. He's the next target after I finish Janeway, because I've now pretty much got everyone with the exception of him and Janeway. Obviously, 7 of 9 and Neelix, they were released this month, so they are not in this chest. So, officers in here. My first port of call, Doctor. Janeway for the PvE. And this is a PvE set. So just bear that in mind. For when you're having your Voyager, Tuvok next, Armadas with Chakotay next. Then you've got Bellona, you've got Tom. And then poor old Harry Kim. Sorry, Harry, once again, stuck at the bottom. Yeah, let's just have a quick look at Harry. 7% as a faction, as a bridge officer for reputation gains of individual factions. So, yeah. And obviously, he's your morale officer below deck. So, it's brilliant to put on board the Enterprise. to help it keep its shields up, or use it in any morale situation, because if you've got the research as well for the isolated damage that requires morale on an explorer, you can put him on below deck of an explorer. When he eventually procs at 10%, you'll get a little bit of isolated damage for that particular round. However, he tops out 100%. So then obviously you got Bologna, who is the hull breach, and obviously with Neelix is your burning. But again, all three of these officers will top out 100%. So that is the event store. So now, quick word. Everything that I've said is my own personal opinion. It's entirely up to you how you do your game and how you play your game and what you want to buy, what you see valuable. Yes, I can stress certain things. I can stress them. But at the end of the day, I'm not playing your game. You are. You, not me. I'm playing my game. So my game would be Janeway and then Tom Paris, making sure I've got the Voyager crew, with the exception of the two that I can't get. Then I'd be moving on to the other stuff that I mentioned about getting. Oh yeah, it was the Newton out the ship blueprints. But again, the Newton is not particularly high on my list. That Stellar assimilated skin is. So should I go for that, or should I go for the Newton? Well, which one's actually going to benefit me more? In all honesty, it's actually going to be the Newton that's going to benefit me more, because then I've got a better base defendership against those G5 players. So, but if I crew it correctly. But anyway, now finally moving on to the big attraction that's actually dropped. A couple of people have asked about this. When is Delta Adversary going to finish? Well, guess what? It is finishing this month. And what can I say about it? What a pissing letdown. It started off so brilliantly with those maps and turning the maps, and you've got to figure out where the system is. And then what do we get afterwards? For the diplomacy, you got a PvP event. There wasn't supposed to be that in the description. That was meant to be in the offensive side. But anyway, you ended up with a load of credits. I've ended up with 66,000 diplomatic ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in here. And what do we see in here? Well, it's the Rialto skins. Yes, it is a Rialto skins. Limited to 80 blueprints. As you can see, watch the descriptions. It does say offense in brackets or diplomacy. I'm under diplomacy, so what I'll do is I'll go into the diplomacy. This one here is the battle ready one, and this basically is going to increase the Rialto's damage by 200% against players. So there is that one. There is the other one as well, which is is it Steadfast? It was called? Oh no, it's Swift, which basically increases your impulse speed by 20 points. That's it. So it's going to take you from 100 to 120. Not much of an increase there. But I'm not going to lie. That green skin looks lovely. Absolutely looks lovely. But again, increasing my impulse speed by 20 points, is that really going to benefit me in the long run? Not really. Is it going to help in my territory captures, getting this thing running around the system? Or going after those big boys and just hammering them with a Rialto, with a burning crew on? No, it's not. I've got officers that can do a far better job than what that green skin can. So in all honesty, where am I going to go? Well, yeah, you probably guessed it, this one. This one's going to benefit me when the Rialto PvP comes round. And are we going to... are we actually going to do it? Now, obviously, I'm not going to show this off of going up against players with a Rialto, but... obviously, you're going to get the idea. Obviously, it says I've still got 80 blueprints for the next one. Nah, I'll just save those 6,000 in case they put something else in here, which I very much doubt they will. So, now, I do not necessarily need to employ this on my Rialto. All I need to do is unlock it. That's providing we can actually get it running. So, now, I did say that we were also going to look at the... chest that I've just won through that formation armada. So yes, I will be putting that on here at the end of the video. But let's get this Rialto skin out and let's have a good let's have a little look at it. when we actually get loaded. So ship skins, there it is, ready for me to unlock. Come on, there we go. So just before we press the unlock, let's have a quick look at her. Nice little red warp nacelle there. Oh, there's a little bit of a jump due to lag, but that blue warp nacelle as well is really looking blue now, which I've got to say is brilliant. Yeah, it is a lovely design. I'm not going to deny that. So let's get it unlocked, and boom, I can now apply that to my Rialto. But now it doesn't matter if I put it on the Rialto or not. I've got that ability. So basically, I could actually not put it on. People see me in space and come after me, don't realise I've got that skin. Boom, they're hit with an extra 200% damage. But then again, they're probably going to be getting that 200% damage as well. So now I will say that the various other skins that are in here as well have not been entered into the event store. So sadly, you're not going to find anything off this list in there, with the exception of the Rialto Swift in the Delta Adversary. Obviously, your TOS skins as well for the G3 epics and the G4 epics are also here, but again, they're not going to be in the event store, sadly. So that's the event store. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel as well. We still are on the push for the 4,000. Oh, it was a partial win, so we're not going to get that final chest. Boom. Never mind. But anyway, so we defeated 2 nodes. So what do we get out of this? I got 9 of those tokens. Oh my god, 9. Really? What ships was we flying? So I was flying the 22 million. That Northcote, 100 million. Bloody hell. And then, yeah, so I was actually literally the 3rd strongest in this Armada. So yeah, that would explain why I got such a low amount. Obviously, I've got some, is it premium? No, just normal artifact tokens. So, but let's claim this because I am going to get some more of those actual tokens. There, I've got an extra 181 complex nanotech. So, yeah, should we actually go have a quick look at the RNG as well? Let's have a laugh at that. So, it is a shame that when you don't actually manage to complete the Armada, but it is what it is. I did literally just throw it into chat before I started recording, say, look, crack on. Get yourself there. I'm recording. So, but if we, we've got the breathing mask as well available. Nice. So jump in here. Here's a Voyager. Let's have a laugh. I'm only going for the 1 chest. I'm not going any higher. And what we're going to get today, we are going to get Bologna Torres. So, yeah. Sourcing for the Voyager officers is pretty crap. So, this is why I say, if you've got the chance to unlock those officers through the event store, do it. If you're close to the next tier, do it. No questions. I'm Admiral Pegasus. Thank you for joining me. This is the Pegasus Show, and I shall catch you on the next video. Live long and prosper. Stay safe. Good night.